Hey everybody, it's Friday, so it must be time for the IDC Rundown. I'm your host, Rob Tiffany. I'm a research director at IDC, covering cloud and edge infrastructure. It's time to get through all the best research that's been published during this week of June the 9th through today, the 13th, Friday the 13th. Watch out, folks. All right, we've got a lot to get to, well over 100. Can I do it? Let's get after it. I'm gonna have to go fast, right? All right, here we go. We got an IDC link. Vultr to offer AMD Instinct MI355X GPUs for AI and HPC workloads. Cool. Another link, Equinox acquires Ulfio and becomes a SACE player. We've got another IDC link, Sage Future Conference, rather. It's empowering the future of finance. We've got an IDC survey spotlight. How will organizations respond if IT professional services costs rise in 2025? An IDC survey based on finance and accounting business process services delivery and functional preferences for 2025. It's an IDC survey of worldwide enterprises. An IDC survey spotlight, IaaS network services see continued positive spending momentum. That's good. IDC survey 2025, IDC Global Supply Chain Survey findings and implications. This is for transportation and logistics. We got a pivot table for all you spreadsheet people, for your Excel folks. SaaS Path 2025 banner books for core HR, employee experience, learning experience management, PLM CAD, subscription management, talent acquisition, and talent management. Woo, that's a mouthful. All right, get after that. An IDC survey, Global Mid-Market Tech CMO, that's Chief Marketing Officer, priorities 2025, marketing in the age of AI. We got a pivot table, more Excel for you. SaaS Path 2025 banner books. A banner book is a spreadsheet. CLM, EIM-ALM, facility management, M&A, software, payroll, procurement, PSA, and SCM. SCM, supply chain management, right? Here's another pivot table for you. SaaS Path 2025, banner books for accounts payable, accounts receivable, ERP, finance, financial GRC, tax, T&E, and treasury management. Here's another pivot table. You just can't get enough of this Excel spreadsheet stuff. SaaS Path 2025 worldwide banner book. A lot of data in there. IDC survey, 2025 supply chain survey, wholesale distribution findings and implications. Tech buyer survey spotlight, mid-market CMOs. If your customers could see how you use their data, would they stay loyal or would they walk away? Here's a pivot table, worldwide DRAM, demand and supply, Q1 2025 to Q4 2026. It's your update for that. We've got a market note. It's about the Red Hat Summit Conference. The future of AI is open. That's good. Another market note, ForcePoint completes acquisition of Git Visibility, expanding data security capabilities. A market presentation, Worldwide Integrated Employee Workspaces Forecast from 2025 to 2029. Another market presentation, Worldwide Integrated Employee Workspaces Market Shares for 2024. Productivity and business efficiency drive investment and adoption. Good. Here's a market note. Charter Communications and Cox Communications announce a merger, creating connectivity and entertainment powerhouse. Is mobile next? People want to know. Here's another market note. Dell Technologies World 2025. Maybe you got to hang out with Michael Dell. Here's an IDC perspective. Questions to ask your SaaS vendor to assess security posture. It's always good to know about security. Here's an IDC perspective. Beyond EPM, the rise of plan to perform in corporate finance. A market presentation, Worldwide Digital Adoption Platform Forecast, 2025 through 2029. We got another market note here, Cybersecurity 2025 Update, miscellaneous musings from IDC Security and Trust Team. We love musings. A market perspective, Agentic AI in the SOC, early innovations and market signals from RSAC 2025. Another market note, top 5 trends in asset lifecycle management in 2025. An IDC survey, operational process capabilities and AI-driven strategic priorities. A market note, top 5 trends in facilities management in 2025. An IDC survey, public sector buyer intelligence survey, modernizing connectivity in state and local government for 2025. A market forecast, worldwide telecommunications CapEx forecast 2025 to 2029. A market presentation, worldwide IT education and training services forecast 2025 to 2029. How about another pivot table? Worldwide memory market shares, a Q1 2025 update. A market presentation, IDC Market Glance, worldwide national civilian government AI-enabled invisible bureaucracy solution providers. An IDC perspective, navigating regulatory change, strategies for effective adaptation in the era of generative AI. A market presentation, the professional services opportunity in AI agents and agentic AI. Here's a pivot table, worldwide quarterly mobile phone semiconductor market share by vendor, phone generation, and semiconductor type, Q1 2025. A market presentation, worldwide PC market shares, Q1 2025. Tariff fears help drive market growth. Get them all you can, right? Market forecast, worldwide solid state drive forecast, 2025 to 2029. Another market forecast, worldwide business use smartphone forecast, 2025 to 2029. An IDC document imaging scanner taxonomy. We all need taxonomies. This is the one for 2025. Here's an IDC survey. Time and scheduling tools still fall short for 1 in 4 employees. That's a bummer. Market forecast, Japan IT security forecast, 2025 to 2029. Software, appliance, and services. Here's a market analysis perspective. EMEA digital infrastructure strategies for 2025. Here's an IDC survey, public cloud adoption in Canada 2025. Here's a survey spotlight, Asia Pacific. How are you planning to address any shortfall in development skills? We all want to know, right? All right, we got an IDC link. IBC Think, AI is the future of real enterprise productivity. Here's another IDC link. On to new raises the bar for SOC automation. All right. Here's a CIO council resource, bridging the IT skills gap, Gen AI strategies for evolving the workforce. Here's another council resource, IT skilling strategies. There's a presentation and recording for that. Here's an IDC survey spotlight. What are retailers' top priorities for AI everywhere in IT investments? People want to know. Here's a tech buyer presentation, COEs for the era of agentic AI, a center of excellence framework for successful agentic AI development. Here's a tech buyer presentation. Agentic AI is coming for your APIs. Are you ready? Yeah, I hope they are. Here's the pivot table. IDC Global Storage Sphere Forecast 2025 to 2029. Here's a tech buyer presentation. Global trade war and the shifting U.S. energy policies. U.S. tariff and energy policy impacts on the utility sector. Yeah. Here's another tech buyer presentation. Industry market trends, America's retail for 2025. Here's an IDC survey, 2025 supply chain survey, multi-industry findings and implications. Here's a tech buyer presentation, AI readiness, process and discrete manufacturing. Here's a market presentation, 2025 CEO signature report, transforming businesses for the AI world. Here's a market presentation, worldwide unified endpoint management software forecast 2025 to 2029. Here's a market presentation, yet another, worldwide automotive semiconductor market shares, Q4 2024 and all of 2024 inventory buildup negatively impacts 2024 despite auto sales growth. Here's another market presentation, worldwide services market shares for 2024. Gen AI fuels services spend despite macroeconomic challenges. Another market presentation, the South Africa CISO agenda for 2025. And then we got another one, the Saudi Arabia CISO agenda for 2025. We got a MarketScape, Middle East, Turkey, and Africa Internet of Things Systems Integration Services 2025 vendor assessment. A tech buyer presentation, the impact of U.S. tariffs and energy policy reversals on the oil and gas industry, May 2025. Here's another tech buyer presentation, ICT and the Canadian oil and gas sector for 2025. Here's a survey spotlight. What are the biggest challenges regarding software development and delivery capabilities for Asia Pacific organizations today? Here's an IDC link. Nebius expands in the United Kingdom with NVIDIA Blackwell Ultra. Another IDC link, Broadcom reinforces commitment to the role of mainframes in enterprise hybrid clouds. Another IDC link, Q2 Connect 2025, strengthening risk and identity while streamlining operations. Another link, where we're getting a lot of links here, Sync debuts AI trust platform to align security with AI-driven development. Another link, Global Relay Analyst Summit, e-discovery-led archiving. Here's an IDC survey spotlight. What are the top business concerns or initiatives your facilities management application is meant to address? People want to know. Here's another IDC survey spotlight. Do SACE and SSE solution really improve network performance? Here's another IDC survey spotlight. How have key metrics changed since adopting or planning to adopt an SSE solution? Another spotlight. Does SACE and SSE solution really improve security posture? Another spotlight, supply chain disruption in technology-oriented value chain manufacturing. And another spotlight, supply chain disruption in brand-oriented value chain manufacturing. Spotlight, how can integrated AI across talent management help overcome skill shortages? Here's a tech buyer presentation, Bridging the IT Skills Gap, Gen AI Strategies for Evolving the IT Workforce. Another IDC survey, U.S. Consumer Brand Engagement, Considerations for the Consumer Gen AI Market, 2024, Consumer Brand Sentiment Survey Findings. Here's another survey, U.S. Consumer Brand Attribute Preferences, Positioning for Consumer Gen AI Market, the 2024 Consumer Brand Sentiment Survey Findings. We got a market note on the Red Hat Summit 2025, ushering in a new era of OpenAI-enabled platforms and ecosystem innovation. A tech buyer presentation, the technology impacts of the new Trump administration in 2025, life sciences, med tech companies, healthcare providers, and healthcare payers. A tech buyer presentation, Gen AI, agentic AI, and talent transformation, how to crush it. I like that. IDC survey, U.S. consumer brand sentiment for select leading vendors active in the consumer Gen AI market, 2024 Consumer Brand Sentiment Survey Findings. We got a survey spotlight here. Which operational areas are hospitality and restaurant enterprises prioritizing Gen AI investments in 2025? Here's an IDC Innovators, Data Intelligence Platform Software for 2025. Here's a market presentation, Worldwide Solid State Storage Quarterly Update Summary for Q1 2025. Another market presentation, U.S. Mobile Network Operator Wireless Equipment Forecast 2025 through 2029. Now we got a survey spotlight. How are European organizations changing their IT spending plans due to geopolitical and economic developments? And how are these changes affecting services spending? Another survey spotlight. How can providers make UCaaS mid-market ready? Another tech buyer presentation, European Managed Cloud Services, Best Practices for IT Outsourcing. A tech buyer presentation, Advancing Sustainability in EMEA Manufacturing, from compliance to competitive edge through technology. A market presentation, Hybrid Multi-Cloud Management, Emerging Trends, End-User Preferences, Investment Priorities. A IDC survey, Exploring the Role of External IT Service Providers in the Enterprise Agentic AI Journey in Asia Pacific. An IDC survey spotlight, is environmental sustainability a compliance cost or a strategic opportunity? An IDC perspective, regulatory turning point, how data privacy, cybersecurity, and AI laws are reshaping enterprise strategy in Asia Pacific. An IDC survey spotlight, what are the key priorities behind Asia Pacific Communication SP's autonomous network shift? An IDC link, Microsoft Build 2025, embracing the agentic future by becoming an agent factory. We like an agent factory. A research press release, IDC, nearly half of Indian enterprises test agentic AI solutions as workforce transformation accelerates. And a survey spotlight, supply chain disruption in engineering-oriented value chain manufacturing. An IDC survey, redefining trust, the case for smarter identity verification in banking. An IDC survey spotlight, supply chain disruption in asset-oriented value chain manufacturing. A pivot table, back to Excel, mobile phone semiconductor market forecast 2025 to 2029. A market presentation, worldwide core talent acquisition technologies forecast 2025 to 2029. An IDC perspective, agentic AI in cybersecurity, a primer guide for cybersecurity architects. We got a market note, reducing tariff exposure using PLM to manage manufacturers' risk. We got a market presentation, worldwide security information and event management market shares 2024. The besetting SEIMs, SAMES. Love those acronyms. Market presentation, worldwide client endpoint management software forecast 2025 to 2029. We got a productscape, IDC productscape. Woo! Worldwide machine learning operations platforms 2025. Now we have a planscape, DevSecOps success measurement. Got back to a market presentation, worldwide application vulnerability management market shares 2024. Market shakeups, evolving platforms, and rising expectations in the age of AI. We have another market presentation, worldwide and US systems integration services forecast 2025 to 2029. Another market presentation, worldwide virtual client computing software forecast 2025 to 2029. Another market presentation, worldwide and US IT consulting services forecast 2025 to 2029. Another market forecast, worldwide business use tablet forecast 2025 to 2029. A taxonomy, IDC's worldwide quantum computing taxonomy for 2025. A market presentation, worldwide campus and branch Ethernet switch market shares 2024. As market resets, focus shifts to AI and platforms. A market presentation, worldwide financial application market shares 2024. Capital inflows, innovation cycles, and policy change define the landscape. Another market presentation, worldwide unified communications and collaboration forecast 2025 to 2029. Another market presentation, worldwide and US IT outsourcing services forecast 2025 to 2029. Another market forecast, Japan digital business professional services forecast 2025 to 2029. We got a market presentation on Western Europe business inkjet market forecast 2025 to 2029. We have a market presentation, Asia Pacific IT consulting and systems integration services market shares 2024. The pivot to AI area. Got another market forecast, Asia Pacific, excluding Japan, whole cloud services forecast 2025 to 2028. IDC survey spotlight is multi-cloud policy inconsistency, a real secure access service, edge trigger in Asia Pacific. And that does it. That is what you get. That was a mouthful for this week. So we're going to wrap it up. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and thanks for checking out all this great research at IDC. See you later.